Yeah, for sure. Felt good to compete and be healthy and as healthy as you can be and just be on an even playing field, so to speak. So felt good, but it's not about personal things at this point of the season. It's about wins and losses, and no matter how well or bad you play, and the only thing that matters is getting wins. And obviously we didn't do that, so nobody's happy or satisfied, or there's really nothing to be feel good about. It's just you lost, and you look and see where you can be better, and come back Tuesday and try to get a win.
Brett, how do you guys, when you're watching films, how do you think you can get the pace up a little bit? Because you only had 9 transition opportunities in a game, which is
Yeah.
not to expect. How do you
Yeah.
get the pace up?
We just gotta put our will into the game a little bit more and impose our will. Sorry, just force turnovers. They do a good job of taking care of the ball, but I thought that it's playoffs. It's not going to be up and down run and gun. It was as bad as we played. It was a relatively low scoring game, and we guarded them well. Save for a few possessions there in the fourth where we gave them wide open shots. And that's the way it's going to be sometimes. Grind it out. But you would like to get more stops, get out in transition a little bit more, but give them credit. They made it tough on us, and we got to find some opportunities where we can do that. But I think just maybe trying to take them out of the rhythm a little bit more, be in more gaps, get some more steals. They had some offensive rebound opportunities that we got to clean up, and if we do that, I think that'll give us some chances going the other way. So clean up the boards is probably the easiest way to get out in transition. No, and that wasn't that surprising. I mean, if you look at the shots he was taking, give him credit. He made some tough shots, but I mean, that's he's done that, right? We've seen that before, and this nobody's really getting surprised this time of year. We just got to play better, got to execute the game plan better, less mistakes, and just be more disciplined. And I think that we'll get right. We still had a chance to win. As bad as it felt, as bad as it looked, as bad as we played, we still had a chance to win there at the end, and just didn't do enough. So obviously, there's some things we clean up. Looked at some film today. Look at some more tomorrow, and just keep trying to improve.
What was the number one thing that jumped out to you when you rewatched some things this morning?
Just the amount of mistakes, just the lapses, some turnovers, but not, just some execution on the offensive end, just some bad execution on the defensive end, just blown coverages, little lack of communication, just things that you can't do at this time of year if you expect to win. And we didn't do a good enough job, but the good thing about us is it's another opportunity there on Tuesday to go and fix it. So look at where we messed up, and obviously we have to correct it.
Some of those communication issues that you mentioned, Kyle mentioned them last night. Is that a surprising thing for you guys at this time of year, given the veteran experience, I guess, that you have on this team?
It's not ideal. It's not ideal, but it happens, right? It's basketball. There's no perfect game. You would like it to not happen in the critical times of the game, but it did, and it's something that we can learn from and grow from, and shore up some things. And look, if DJ comes off that three and misses, or we get the offensive rebound where they call the foul on Danny, then it's a different tone to these mistakes that we made. But when you lose, everyone counts, and you add them up, and you say, well, if we did this, if we did that, we probably could have skated out of there with a win, but we didn't. And gotta look in the mirror and see where you messed up and fix it going forward. But it's nothing that can't be fixed. It's nothing that is astronomical. It's just simple stuff that we just didn't do a good enough job of.
When you look at, like you did, the simple stuff, Orlando's a team that's kind of been fighting for its playoff life to an extent for more than a month, really all season. And you guys, it just hasn't been that, the schedule hasn't been like that for the last month. Do you think that catches up to you sometimes when all of a sudden you got to be on your A game because of that?
Maybe. I think that they have been in do or die mode for a while, like you said, and that brings a certain type of urgency and intensity to the details of what you're trying to bring each day, and they're pretty locked into what they were doing. And if they lose, if we win and they lose, I don't know if that changes the narrative a little bit. Maybe we were super locked in if we win that game, right? But you never know. I think that we didn't do enough good enough job to win, and they did, and and that's just the reality of the situation. And we've been here before, unfortunately, and move forward and try to get another win.
You say you've been here before. How's the mood amongst the team this time versus other game one stumbles?
I mean, I've only been here 3 years, but it's the same. I mean, it's playoffs, right? People understand that we're trying to win 16 games here in the grand scheme of things, and starting 0-1 is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. And so, like I said, you look at where you went wrong, and you have to fix it going forward. And I think we've shown that we can bounce back out of this type of situation before, which is a good thing. And nobody's panicking, but nobody's happy. To answer your question.
Probably isn't a team that defended Pascal better in the regular season. How do you think he adjusted last week?
Yeah, I think he was a little more decisive and just understanding that Isaac is taking that challenge, right? I think that if you go through the motions, the guy's pretty tall and long and athletic and can make it tough on you. I think Pascal really just put his head down and made some real strong, decisive moves. And when he's doing that, there's not much that you can do to stop him. So there's some different opportunities where we can get him in situations, get him in different mismatches, and try to exploit those. And we'll continue to do that. But for the most part, as long as P is making those good, strong moves and getting to the rim, there's not much you can do from a defensive standpoint. So give him credit. He really gave us a spark there, especially in the second half, finishing around the rim, getting out in transition, defensively. So we know what he brings to the table.
What do you think the right number of shots or level of aggressiveness for Kyle is over the course of a game like that?
I don't know. That's for Kyle to answer. I think we've seen it from 30 points, 40 points to none, and we've seen this scale, and that happens as a player. So we've seen him dominate games without scoring more than 10 points, and you know how it goes. He's not a player where points is going to define the type of impact he has on the game. But obviously, nobody wants to go 0 for 7 or whatever it was in the playoff game. So I think that he handled it well. He was missing, and he missed the first two, and you could see it build up a little bit, and he didn't start pressing, and he didn't force anything, and he didn't really turn many down, I don't think, from where I was sitting. And that's all you ask for. As long as you get an open one and you don't start second guessing yourself, then you're aggressive enough for me. But I think he's done a good job of walking that line of getting guys involved and still being able to score. And as long as he's good, he's still leading, still talking, still taking charges, and yelling at the refs and scratching and fighting, then he's doing his job. So obviously he does a lot more than just score, and he'll make shots. He's done it. He's proven it, and we got game one out the way. So. I'm looking forward to seeing, how he turns out on Tuesday.
Games plan unfolded, and do you think you need a lot of adjustments based on what happened, or is it just, a few little details that didn't work out, and obviously it was a game you could have won as well?
I think we did a good job with the game plan as far as, most of their players on the team. We let DJ get away from us a little bit, so I think it's just like what you said, just making some minor adjustments, play a little bit harder, and just locking in and on key situations and knowing what we're going to do.
Do you think, because you had down the stretch, it wasn't like you guys were competing for seeding for a playoff spot, or whereas those guys were kind of playing for their lives basically for a month. Do you think maybe it's just the level of intensity between the two teams was a little different?
No, I wouldn't say that. Because we were trying to win those last games as well. And, if they're playing at a high level, you have to play at a high level to win in the NBA. Can't go into a game just being, lazy and not focused. So I wouldn't say that was it. I mean, it's just one game. It's a long series, and, this is what the playoffs is for.
They're obviously really long and athletic. Did it feel more congested in the paint than usual, or was it pretty much what you're used to over the course of the regular season?
Yeah, they do have some length on their side. That helps them, and you know, that's just how they play defense at the end of the day. Whoever's driving to the paint, they're going to send 2 or 3 guys. And we just got to be able to make the willing pass and, you know, try to get the best shot as possible.
Why a lot got made of the communication breakdowns at the end of the game. Was that happening throughout the game, though, or was that just sort of tail end?
What part at the end of the game? I felt like we was communicating pretty well throughout the game.
Wait, specifically with you and Mark on the last play.
No, I mean, we were a bit too far back, and he was able to come off a screen and knock down a 3. So I wouldn't say it was good communication, you know, breakdown. I think we all know what we needed to do.
Let's see, did we end the afternoon yet? Just made it. Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing today? Good. All right, fire away, Doug. Why don't you get us started?
How are you going to get the game faster? Or do you need to get it faster?
Well, I think, you know, looking back at it, yeah, we actually had something like 23% of our plays in transition. Pretty good, pretty high number, especially against that team. We do push it a little bit more here and there, but you can kind of always say that. So I thought we did okay there. And, you know, going back through it, Doug, we probably, you know, I think there were about a minute to go in the game. They had 99 points. That's probably against us. You think that's probably good enough to win. And I think we had a lot of good looks. You know, I think we had a lot of really, really good looks. We forced a few early that we'd probably like to have back. I would say maybe a half dozen possessions where I would have said, you know, that was too quick. And we probably could have looked and searched for something a little bit better. But, you know, for the most part, going to take a lot of those shots again.
The way they distribute their offense, everybody gets about the same number of shots.
Yep.
Is that difficult for you guys to defend? Is it harder than a superstar team with one guy going to get 30 shots?
Well, I don't know. I think if you go back and look at this thing, I would say we did a very good job on Vucevic, their all-star, right? He was rattled. We made a couple really bad mistakes and let him pass out of it a couple times when we didn't need to, late, where they banged a couple threes. Those were just mistakes by us. We did a great job on Ross, 2 for 11, a guy that's scored 20, I don't know how many games in a row other than playing against us. We did a solid job on Fournier, right? He was you know, he had 16 or something like that, but he was fighting like hell to get good looks. And DJ Augustine exploded in the first half on us, right? Exploded. That was the one guy we didn't handle very well, as far as, you know, to answer your question. Made some adjustments at half, and again, he had 1 point in the second half leading into his 5 in the closing moments. So, yeah, I liked how we game planned and defended for the most part. And again, these games come down to, you know, those half dozen offensive ones that we want to have back, and maybe at least a half dozen more defensive ones that we got to shore up as well.
Shots aren't falling for Kyle, but as you mentioned yesterday, he had a good plus minus.
Yeah.
When you watched the film on him, what did you like, and you know, all the reasons that you wanted to have him on the floor, and what did you like about what he did?
Well, again, I just think he was leading the team pretty well, right? He had us fighting and battling pretty well. We were getting, again, I thought we were getting pretty good looks. He was getting us into sets that were providing those looks. You know, he was making his defensive plays. He got a charge. He had a nice little strip on another double team. He was fighting like hell, keeping guys off the boards, right? So there was, you know, again, there was a lot of positives as far as his play. And, you know, what do you say? I say to him, you're gonna have to take these shots, man. Their rhythm of his 6 threes, 5 of them were. Let's see, what did I say? I better not say that. 5 of them were wide open, right? I mean, they were wide open, and those are shots he's gonna have to take, and he's gonna continue to take them.
Flip side, plus minuses, you have Freddie, had a really good game.
Yeah.
Bunch for him, he got that minus.
Yeah.
Something like that. How good is it to have Fred to go to compared to this time last year? And was there anything in his game that would explain why he got, you know, brought in a plus minus?
I mean, he played pretty good. I thought obviously he shot the ball, made some big shots for us. Looked pretty good out there. I just think he was among the group that had trouble keeping the ball in front a little bit with Augustine. I'm not sure he was on. He was on him a couple times. I mean, one time he was pressed up on him like this at the shot clock going out, and Augustine made it. One time he got twisted around, got caught underneath the screen, and Augustine made another one. There's 6 of those, I think, in that stretch when we kind of had a nice, I don't know, it was like 34-27, right? And then all of a sudden it was 57-41 or something like that. That was probably where he got the majority of his minus on the night on the plus minus.
With some of the communication issues, specifically the Augustine shot with a couple of your best and most experienced defenders, is that just something that you trust was an outlier, and with guys like that, it'll correct itself more often than not?
Yeah. I think it's a one-off.
You mentioned Patrick was getting his thumb reevaluated on Friday.
Yep.
Is he getting any closer to being an option for you guys?
Yeah, he practiced today. We'll keep updating. He got updated today, and they took the little splint off, and they still got the tape on there, but he practiced today. So it'll be closer. I don't think he's quite game ready yet, but should be soon. Should be soon.
Norm and Terrence probably had their share of practice battles that you've seen. Is there a comfort there in putting Norm on, not that Terrence can't go off at any given time, but is there a comfort in somebody who's played against him in so many situations?
Nope. Nope. Every time Terrence Ross comes flying off there, whoever's guarding him, I'm worried he's going to make it.
What did you like about what Norm brought defensively?
He did a good job. I mean, he was into him. I thought again, we made him take some tough shots. He threw a couple off the backboard, or one off the backboard at the early start. He threw some quick ones up. I thought he was very fortunate on the one that he got the 3-pointer on, because he kicked his right leg way out. There's just like no path for anybody to run when they do that. He was very fortunate to get those 3. But other than that, I thought we did a decent job with him.
When you go over a game like this, and you held them to 40%, your turnovers were low. Some of their guys who aren't 3-point shooters were making shots. Do you kind of caution yourself, okay, we lost the game, but the process wasn't bad, and so not to get too caught up in making adjustments where there's a lot of stuff.
Well, I think yeah. I mean, there's some adjustments to be made, right? There was adjustments to be made at halftime, right? So there's some adjustments to be made tomorrow on what we're doing, and again, just you think you're clear on what you're doing, and the guys have a grasp of it, but you don't know until you go out there and see it, and you got to kind of move it from clear to crystal clear, maybe, and just make sure again that you turn those 6 offensive possessions that you didn't like, maybe cut that in half, and the 5 or 6 defensive mistakes that you make, cut that in half, and then hopefully the in and outs go out and in, right, and maybe some of theirs go out, and it just things happen, but you got to play again. There was enough of the game where I thought we did a lot of things really well. Again, like you mentioned, you can look at holding them to 40%, but they doubled us in free throws. They made 18 to our 9. Okay, that's a bad stat to win a game, and they made more threes than we did, and that's another bad stat to win a game in this day and age. If you're going to make more free throws and more threes, you're going to have to battle. And again, saying all that and all that stuff, if Marks doesn't go in and out and DJ's does, we're talking about something totally different today, but we're not. So we got to play better and shore it up and get tougher and move the ball a little bit better and screen a little bit better and rebound a little bit better and all those things.
What are some of those adjustments that will be made?
What are they?
Yeah.
They're just coverages, coverages and possibly matchups.
Before the series, there's a lot of talk about the experience gap, but for a relatively playoff inexperienced team, they don't turn the ball over often, they don't let up too many rebounds, they don't foul very often, a pretty clear identity of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
How tough is it to try and rattle a team like that, or try and match up against a team like that?
Well, I think we knew, coming in, we talked about it last week. They do all those things you just said, right? They don't give you too much in transition, but we got transition. I thought we did turn them over a little bit on areas we were trying to, right? We blitzed a couple guys and made them cough it up and throw it around a little bit. What was the other one? Oh, rebounding. Yeah, it wasn't. We had moments again. I think most of that came with the second unit with us, where we gave up a couple second shots, and that was they are pretty long and athletic, and those guys go charging in. They just kind of have a little game plan of that's the way they're going to play. Throw it up off the glass and play ping pong with it, right? So we got to shore that up a little bit, but you know who they are. We know that they're a solid defensive team. They're very well coached, right? They got a lot of length and athleticism. It's a good team.
Do you say anything to the team about not listening to outside criticism or listening to the Raptors last game won again, any of that stuff?
I did not. I think maybe I should, but I think they're all probably used to insulation process. I think most of them insulate themselves pretty much throughout the year. No offense to you guys in here, but I think they just would rather deal with their family and their basketball and do their thing.